Let's start. Devotees who can keep your camera on, please keep your camera on. Okay, we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramanandhamadhavam Chaitanyamishwaram Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanajjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namavam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम
Hare Hare.
हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जय पताक स्वामिति नामने नम आचार्य पदाय निताय कृप पदाय गौर कथा धर्मधाय नगर ग्राम तारिणी हरे कृष्णा ओम तत्सत welcome all devotees for Bhagavatam discussion. So we'll continue Canto 2, Chapter 7, Text 6 today. Who is going to read?
Prabhuji, it was allocated to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
At Canto Chapter 7, Text 6. Dharmasya Dharmasya Daksha Dharmasya Daksha Duhitare Duhitari Anjanistha Murtyam Murti Murti Narayanah Naraha इति सवतपः प्रभावः दृष्टो मानवो भगवतो नियामालोपम दिव्यास्तव देव्यास्तव अनघा प्रतना घटित्वं न sikhu. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: to exhibit his personal way of austerity and penance, he appeared in twin forms as Narayana and Nara in the womb of Murti, the wife of Dharma and the daughter of Daksha. Celestial beauties, the companions of Cupid, went to try to break his vow, but they are unsuccessful, for they saw that many beauties like them were emanating from him, the personality of Godhead. Purport: the Lord, being the source of everything that we, is the origin of all austerities and penances also. Great vows of austerities are undertaken
by the sages.
To achieve success in self-realization. Human life is meant for such tapasya with great vow of celibacy or brahmacharya. In the rigid life of tapasya, there is no place for the association of women. And because human life is meant for tapasya, for self-realization, factual human civilization, and as convinced by the system of Sanatana Dharma or the school of four castes and four orders of life, prescribes rigid dissociation from woman in 3 stages of life. In the order of gradual cultural development, one's life may be divided into 4 divisions: celibacy, household life, retirement, and renunciation. During the first stage of life, up to 25 years of age, a man may be trained as brahmachari under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, just to understand that woman is the real binding force in the material existence. If one wants to get freedom from the material bondage of conditional life, he must get free from the attraction for the form of woman. Woman or the fair sex is the enchanting principle of other living entities, and the male form, especially in the human being, is meant for self-realization. The whole world is moving under the spell of womanly attraction, and as soon as a man becomes united with woman, he at once becomes a victim of material bondage under a tight knot. The desires of for lording it over the material world under the under the intoxication of a false sense of lordship, especially begin just after the man's unification with a woman. The desire for acquiring a house, possessing land, having children, and becoming prominent in society, the affection for community and the place of birth and hankering for wealth, which are all like Fatan, Fantash Magoria,
Priya.
or illusory dreams encounter a human being, and he is thus impeded in his progress towards self realization, the real aim of life. The brahmachari or boy from the age of 5 years, especially from the higher caste, namely from the scholarly parents, the brahmanas, the administrative parents, the kshatriyas, or the mercantiles or productive parents, the vaishyas, is trained until 25 years of age under the care of a bona fide guru or teacher. Under strict observation of discipline, he comes to understand the value of life along with taking specific training for a livelihood. The brahmachari is then allowed to go home and enter the householder life and get married to a suitable woman. But there are many brahmacharis who do not go home to become householder, but continue the life of Naishtika brahmachari without any connection with the woman. They accept the order of sannyas or the renounced order of life, knowing well that the combination with the woman is an unnecessary burden that checks self-realization. Since sex desire is very strong at certain stage of life, the guru may allow the brahmachari to marry. This license is given to brahmachari who is unable to continue the name of Naishtika brahmacharya, and such discrimination are possible for the bona fide guru. A program of so-called family planning is needed. The householder who associates with women under scriptural restrictions after a thorough training of brahmachari cannot be a householder like cats and dogs. Such a householder after 50 years of age would retire from the association of women as vanaprastha to be trained to live alone without the association of women. When the practice is complete, the same retired householder becomes a sannyasi, strictly separate from woman, even from his married wife. Studying the whole scheme of disassociation from woman, it appears that a woman is a stumbling block for self-realization, and the Lord appeared as a Narayana to teach the principle of womanly disassociation with a woman life. The demigod, being envious of the austere, austere life of the rigid brahmacharis, would try to cause them to break their vows by dispatching soldiers of Cupid. But in the case of Lord, it became an unsuccessful attempt when the celestial beauty saw that the Lord can produce innumerable such beauties by his mystic internal potency, and that there was constantly no need to be attracted by others externally. There is common proverb that a confectioner is never attracted by sweetmeats. The confectioner who is always manufacturing sweetmeats has a very little desire to eat them. Similarly, the Lord, by his pleasure potential powers, can produce innumerable spiritual beauties and not be the least attracted by the false beauties of material creation. One who does not know Alex foolishly that Lord Krishna enjoyed in his Ras Leela in Vrindavan or with his 16,000 married wives at Dwarka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful purport. Devotees. So, what do you think? Brahmaji is talking about Naranarayana, how they appeared, the womb of Murti, wife of Dharma, and as daughter of Daksha. So there also they say they performed austerities and they had a lot of disturbance. So sending out so many, women and the beauties, cupids, and they were successful because the Supreme Lord himself, Narayana, he could produce unlimited number of beauties. But in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes a lot of points. Maybe all of us can meditate, all of us can, think about the points Prabhupada makes here. The great vows of austerity are undertaken by the sages to achieve success in self-realization. Human life is meant for tapasya. This is the point Prabhupada making. Human life is meant for tapasya, not for enjoyment. But generally, the understanding is other way around. Hey, one life, man, enjoy. Who knows next what going to happen? Eat or ghee, steal or beg or borrow. Eat ghee, enjoy. Who are going to see or who has seen the life after? So that is a kind of the so-called materialistic people in the society they talk, but the result they don't know. What happens after that? So after the enjoyment, what suffering they're going to go through, that they don't know. That's why this tapasya is that will make our life change. So Prabhupada is saying the human life is meant for tapasya. But Prabhupada given very simple tapasya, not like olden days, go to forest or go to Himalaya, stand in one leg, nothing like that. Just get up in early morning, maybe 4:30, and chant 16 rounds nicely. Attend Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita class, Arati possible, and do some service. That's it. That's a tapasya. Especially the Grahastas. Here, the full purpose Srila Prabhupada talks about Grahasta, man, woman, which is, we all can connect with this, right? The whole purport is all meant for me because we are all Grahastas. Its whole purpose is, and the purport Srila Prabhupada is telling me, it's nobody else. Prabhupada says that with a great vow, celibacy and brahmacharya should be followed. And Prabhupada says the four caste order, the varna and ashrama. Bhagavan Krishna himself says that Chaturvanya Maya Sista Guna Karma Vibhagasha, Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya Shudra, the varna, and ashramas, brahmacharya, grahastha ashrama, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. Prabhupada in the whole purport talks about this. Now, mainly talks about brahmacharya and association with the woman. He talks about here especially the three sages like brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. They are not allowed. Only the in between grahastha. Here, so Prabhupada talks about the age, the up to age 25, the boy, the man is given a training sent to Gurukul under the able teacher who trains the basic educations, whether they are the education of the language or required behavior, and more than that, based on their varna, is a Brahmanical nature, he'll be given that education. If he's Kshatriya nature, he'll be given a Kshatriya education. If he's Vaishya, business, he'll be given that education. Then after that, so by the year 25, the age of 25, he is ready. And in this process, he has been trained to become a brahmachari, celibacy. And after that, he has got an option either to get married or continue. If he continues, he can go directly to sannyasa, or he get married, he become a grahastha. Now, people may ask, if everybody becomes sannyasis, how the progeny will happen? what will happen to the woman? Prabhupada, somebody asked this question to Prabhupada, saying that, Prabhupada, if everybody becomes sannyasi, what will happen? Prabhupada said, rascals like you will be there. They will never become sannyasi. So he will never become sannyasi. So don't worry. There are so many people who will be there who cannot control. So here also Prabhupada says that everybody cannot get into the sannyasi level because sense control is so difficult. It's not so easy. So there will be people, don't worry. And everybody need not become sannyasi also, especially in Kali Yuga. Sannyasa is not that, fashion. And just because putting a saffron cloth or, that's not sannyasa. Sannyasa is by character and behavior. There are many, today's world, people roam around with the saffron dress and they do sometime, unwanted things. But that's not that what wanted. Sannyasa means he has to follow the vows he has taken and he should be a certain example for society because sannyasa is the topmost, the order, who is a kind of a guiding factor for the all other people. So whether he is Brahmana or Kshatriya, Vaishya, whatever, when he takes sannyasa level, he should be that level. So in that level, he should always keep away from the woman. Today, if you see, so many news we are seeing or hearing, many sannyasis are getting into the affairs and all those things. They get into police, court case and all those things which should not happen. So Prabhupada bringing out that the boy at till the age of 25 should be trained to become a kind of a good brahmachari. The girl should be taught the chastity. So it doesn't mean that the girls are not given education. There is again misconception saying that in a Vedic system only boys are given education, girls are not given education. No, that's not correct. Girls are also given education. If you see the olden days, all the great, ladies, they were very educated. Whether, Kunti Maharani or whether Draupadi or, uh, even other Sita or all the great, or even the recent, the acharyas or ladies, they're all highly educated. Education, but doesn't mean that they have to get the materialistic education. Education is, real education. That's why it's called Vidya. Vidya means not that we go to the corporate education or that's not only education. Education is basically how to behave and how to lead your life. That's education. In the process, may require language, maths, all those things required to understand the way of life. That's enough. That easily can be done. I was talking to one parent who the child is coming to a summer camp. The child is not going to school. Parents are teaching, homeschooling. I was talking to mother. She says, yes. And good part is that both are working. Husband, wife, both are working. Still, they ensure that child is given a proper education. Child is so smart. She is coming to our summer camp. She is so smart. She knows good English, good maths, and all the science. And she is very good in music, very good in art. Other day, she did a very nice Krishna's art. She did everything, and she's at home. Either father or mother by rotation, they take time. Either morning, afternoon, evening, they take time and they train. So it is possible. It's not that impossible. See, the requires that willpower from parent side. And I was talking to father also. Father says that the only reason I didn't send her to the school is that the association with other children, how it will spoil the consciousness of a child. This is exactly he says that. That's I want to avoid that. That's the reason because if I give a proper strong education now, up to teenage, maybe after that she can choose whatever. But this will be very, very strong. She will never, forget that. So the girls are in olden days also girls are given proper education. Gurus either used to come to us, palace or houses, or many times the ladies they give education. So that misconception that girls are not given education is wrong, and there is people who are kind of misled the society and stopping the girls' education. This all happened, but that's not the correct system. So here, boys should be taught brahmacharya, girls should be taught chastity, and at the right age, maybe 18 or 20, 21, they get married. And that will be the ideal grasta, because both know exactly what is the goal of life. Otherwise, today, if you see the whole marriage, there's a joke saying that love at first sight, divorce at the first sight. That's exactly happens. There's so many the disturbances, either divorce or abortion, and result is what? The suicide. All this happens because the proper education is not given. They don't know the real human life or the value of the human life. This is where Prabhupada is highlighting. Woman is a real binding force for the material existence. Prabhupada says that. So man is naturally attracted to, that's a natural. There's nothing, special in that. And woman is naturally attracted to man. But that bonding or that binding has to be channelized properly. When the channelized properly to produce a very nice soul as a future generation, that is will be the good contribution to society. Otherwise, today what happens that accidents only. Before marriage, children, and they don't know what to do. Either they put them into somewhere or old age, orphanage, or they kill, abort. All this happens even after marriage also. If they're not planned properly, they do all those nonsense. And that even if that child survives, becomes Varna Shankara, because the child has no plan. That's why the Garbhadana samskara is done. The proper samskara is done. For the husband, wife, that consciousness, they unite. That consciousness, the child is grown. And during the pregnancy, the mother focuses her completely on spirituality so that the child comes with a good character. We know so many, whether Dhruva Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj, all these pastimes we know how nicely they were trained. So that's why Prabhupada say woman is the binding factor. The one family can be fail or success in the hands of woman, because she is the binding with the husband and children together, keeping that together. And even in the family, like in-laws and mother, all together, the joint family is in the hands of woman. So that should be the thought. Today what happens, as soon as they get married, girl wants separate house. She doesn't want to stay with the in-laws or brother, sister. Nobody wants. They silos. What happens? Depression and unwanted fight. The result is this. So that's why Prabhupada is bringing that bondage in that, it brings a tight knot. That knot has to be put properly. So instead of that bondage, it should turn into affection. Otherwise, it's not possible to detect. Today, I saw some videos sent. What is a real attachment? One lady sent whether when the sweet is eaten with the hand, ghee is there in a hand, but when you put in the tongue, it goes inside. So you cannot clean the tongue because tongue has not kept any the ghee. Ghee has gone inside, whereas hand is still holding the ghee. So it should be like a tongue. The taste is there, but you're not attached. Not there's no bondage. Or the water on the lotus leaf. Yes, water is standing on there, but it's not attached. So it doesn't mean that we are kind of hard-hearted. Doesn't mean that we are irresponsible. The both family, husband, wife, should be responsible, should do their duty, responsibility, kind of take their responsibility properly. Then that whole family becomes successful. That's why Prabhupada is saying that here. So for a man at the age of, suppose at the age of 20, before 25, get married, by 50, he should get into Vanaprastha, because by the time the child is married, because 2024 married and he's settled down, so he is independent. Then daughter is married, he is kind of carried out his responsibility. Now he should move on to the Vanaprastha. Mother may stay with the son, and some time, or they can go with the husband another few years or 25 years. After that, if they survive, then husband can go into the sannyasa. But in Kali Yuga, it said that is not required. Vanaprastha is enough. Preaching is enough, because even that age is there's difficulties managing the sense desire. That's to be very, very, very careful. That's we need a protection. Prabhupada says like woman is like the fort for husband. Fort means the protection, because the senses are so dangerous. I mean, it's not that just only man, woman also. And it's, no clap can happen with one hand. Definitely, there is the other side of it, from where we don't know. So we should be very, very careful. That's why woman should play the role of protecting the man's senses in all way, by providing both emotional and physical needs. At the same time, man has got a responsibility towards the woman by giving the protection and by giving the facilities. I mean, right facilities means based on his means, whether house, because what is a woman need is that proper house, dress, jewelry, or and children. This is what woman wants. Of course, basic food. If this is given, generally woman is happy. They doesn't require anything more. So, and this is the man's responsibility. Of course, depends on their means, we should provide that. When that family becomes happy or in contented family, that's where the whole problem can be solved. If you see, go back to the olden age, this is how the whole family was running. That's why Prabhupada is saying that under the strict observance of disciple, he becomes understand the value of life. So that's how one understands value of life, and he can lead. That's why the role of husband is considered as more, because he has to take a lead. That's why if the wife does any sin, 50% goes to husband, because his responsibility. Whereas husband does good, the 50% comes to wife. Wife, if she can support the husband for devotional service, provided he is doing a devotional service. Of course, he's not doing it, then different ball game. But if he's doing a devotional service, wife just need to support him. If he supports, 50% naturally comes to her. She don't have to try to do independently, separately. This is again, there's a problem with the devotees sometimes. There's a competition between wife and husband, saying that, no, no, why you only have to do, I also have to do. Yes, do it, but do it in a cooperative mood. Support husband, so that that whole family goes together. When we compete each other, there will be destruction, there will be disturbance, and both will get disturbed in that. So that's why Prabhupada is bringing this family, family life together is important. So those who can continue, no, not get married, they become Naistika Brahmachari. So they don't get married, they become sannyasi, but this will be number is very less. So Prabhupada says the householder who associates with the woman under the scriptural restrictions after thorough training of brahmacharya cannot be householder like a cats and dogs. So why Prabhupada is saying cats and dogs? Cats and dogs, they have no control. So in another name is called Grihamedi. Grihamedi is that Grahasta who's after sense gratification. Sometimes handpecked to man, say, or person who's just after senses only. He is ready to do whatever wife saying, because he wants sensual desire. That's it. Only for that. Otherwise, he should be very, very controlled. Prabhupada, in the case of Kashyapa and Diti, Prabhupada says that it is actually Kashyapa's, even though Diti insisted that want, union that time, the evening time, Kashyapa could have bluntly refused. Instead of that, he gave some advice. No, it's not good time, and all, but he, kind of a support read her to her, which he should not have done it. And what is the result? Result is Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha was born, two demons born. So in our life also, if you don't follow, there will possibly Varnashankara will happen. Children will be like demons. So that's why Prabhupada says Lord can produce innumerable such beauties in his mystic internal potency. In the Naranarana case, it's happened. They have been disturbed by so many disturbances, but they are not disturbed. Prabhupada many time gives example of Vishwamitra and Haridas Thakur. Vishwamitra was meditating for 10,000 years. I think the Menaka's just one dancing sound from the ankle bell. His, the tapasya disturbed. He ran after. Whereas other side, Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is chanting the holy name. Even though Mayadevi personally came, he was not disturbed. And on the top of it, he made her to surrender and take a diksha from him. So this is what required. Prabhupada finally says, one who does not know the just foolishly that Krishna enjoyed woman in a Rasa Leela. This is the common understanding. As soon as anybody talks about Krishna, they start smiling. Hey, Krishna is a, kind of a, womanizer. Or even some people, there is a boys, hey, you are like a Krishna, they compare with that. So that is where people misunderstood. First of all, understand what was the, physical point of what was the age of Krishna at that time? 11 years. If you are, and what was the age of those women? Some are already married, some are children. That's kind of woman. And you are like a Rasalila for them. That is a even kind of a like blind eyes, but at the same time, he is Supreme Lord, and all the gopis were that trans level. We cannot compare anywhere near our man, woman man relationship. So that's the understanding we should have it. So with this, I'll stop here. Devotees can share comments or any points, please. Then we'll start with Varsha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you for the class.
Missed you a few days.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem.
I'm unable to speak much, Prabhuji, but yeah, I understood how woman plays an important role in men's life. But although it is said all the jnana is for women only, but it should be the other way around as well. Okay, that's
No,
all.
no, no. That's not correct. Not all the jnana is given to man only. It is man's responsibility. Shastra is very clear. If the woman does mistake, who is suffering? Man has to suffer. Man gets 50%. Sin. Man doesn't, get any punya from the wife. So man has to suffer. So it's responsibility of the man. So, it's the jnana is not given just to woman. Jnana actually given to man. At the same time, why woman? Because woman has got a different, as a body, as a nature, got a different strength to control, which is man generally flickering. That's why they said that. Hope that makes sense, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Who else? Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Pranams to you.
Yes, yes, you said the woman plays an important role in a family. And if a man does puja, half of the punya goes to the woman, but it is not the other way around. So I'm happy to hear that, Prabhuji. But I have a doubt if a man in the house he doesn't do puja and all. What is the I mean, I do puja at home, but I mean, he goes to the temples now and then, but he doesn't do it regularly. So what would be that case, Prabhuji?
Hmm. See, sometimes it's very difficult to comment what that person, whoever it is, that and Lord, the relationship, Atma and Paramatma. Just because somebody doesn't do puja, cannot say that he is not a devotee. We should be very careful because he may be having a different feeling towards Lord, the different way to expressing the, his bhakti or love to
Correct.
the Lord.
Yes,
No,
Prabhuji.
so it's very difficult. I cannot say that he's like that or no, it's not possible. But as a shastric way of doing it, yes, there is a certain methods are given. But at the same time, showing it off, or people show off, right? If I wear tilak, dhoti, it doesn't mean that I'm a devotee. Is devotee, it means that what is in my
Okay.
heart. That's where makes a more difference. I mean, that takes a higher level. So just because somebody doesn't do
Yes.
doesn't mean that he is not a devotee. But in Kali Yuga, it's required to do that because the the sadhana makes person perfect. That's why daily chanting arti is given, so that practice becomes a habit.
Mm.
That's why given. So yeah, the
Okay,
now
Prabhuji.
question is that the
Thank you,
other person
Prabhuji.
is not practicing. So the woman's responsibility is to inspire him, pray, request him. At the same time, pray to the Supreme Lord, please inspire that person to take up Krishna consciousness, and possible chant extra rounds for him, for his benefit,
Okay,
so that
Prabhuji.
he'll. Hope that answers.
Oh, yes,
Shruti
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Shruti Mataji, unmute. You are still muted, Mataji. Not able to hear you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Actually, yes, what you told us, a woman was also educated in the Vedic times also. And also education is given in such a way that women should maintain her chastity and should not openly go around in the thing of in the name of equality and all going around and getting unwanted children and unwanted abortion and pregnancy. That is not actually what is right for the society, because everyone tells that okay, equality of women. So then somewhere Srila Prabhupada has told it is basically the man who tells okay, we are giving equal status to men, but then they are misusing the women in the name of modernization. So they are not actually giving a proper status to the woman, but they are actually degrading the woman by using them for their purposes before marriage and all, if they have any relationship. And secondly, what you told us, this leads to unwanted pregnancy, varna shankara and all those things. And second is women after marriage, they should help their husband also, if they are in spiritual path, to grow in the spiritual path and assist them in the spiritual path. So both of them together, if they go in the spiritual path, it is really good for the children also. Then the children also will be in a proper growth. You give an example of a family also where the husband and wife are doing homeschooling of the child, and the child is growing really well. So this, along with the modern day education, does not teach all these values and all. It is just telling about getting more marks, being more competitive, getting more higher in life, being more desire oriented, expectation oriented. Knowledge over here is just to see that which higher paying job we can get, which higher corporate ladder we can. It is not given with the sense that we should know the knowledge. So this what education system we have made is like a rat race. Everyone should be running, who gets the highest percentage, who is a topper, for them only. Because there might be people who are actually very intelligent, but they not be that intelligent in the theory, whatever subjects they're taught, but they actually might be having a lot of knowledge, but that is not getting recognized because of this rat race. So second thing was that, and third thing was exactly after a particular age, vanaprastha or was recommended. So now it is not possible in this modern society. So what people can do is they can do these preaching and all. Okay, because those who want to enjoy the householder life, they enjoy the householder life till 50, then do the preaching work and do some seva service and all. Matlab, you should do it before also, but then they can dedicate more time towards that and all. So that will make the society also good. And overall, when one family grows, the society also develops in that way, because each we cannot see other families and neighbors, but once we have to make our family grow in that line, then only we can set example for others. That's what I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Kanchana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Lord adventures Nara Narayana in Murti's womb, who is the wife of Dharma and daughter of Daksha. Lord's incarnation is to teach about austerities, the way of penance to achieve self-realization. Purpose of human life is not enjoyment, but to do austerities. And Bhakti Vedanta, Srila Prabhupada says, it's very easy chanting of Hare Krishna and engaging oneself in devotional service is itself a tapasya. Lord Krishna is the origin of all austerities, and sages are taking vows to achieve this self-realization. Human existence is for practicing spiritual knowledge by observing celibacy. There are 3 stages: celibacy, household life, retirement, and renunciation. And celibacy means disassociating with women, but women is the greatest force. She is the one who will inspire, who will make them practice for certain stage after household life. She is the one who inspires him to pray, meditate, and take us to Godhead. After 50 years, he is required to retire from materialistic living, attach more to godly activities. Lord Narayana and Nara as sages showed the way to practice life values, what should be done, what we should observe to lead a divine life. Demigods tried to obstruct their austerities, but they failed to lure Lord and disciples. Krishna played Raslila dance with gopis in unlimited forms, and he saved all maids, 16,000 maids, and married them. He brought them to Dwaraka because they cried. He was the ultimate protector of maids who saved them from Narakasura's prison. So uh, that's what I understood, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Mariappan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad pranams.
Pranam, Prabhuji.
Human life is meant for tapasya, not for sense gratification and enjoyment. Acharya Srila Prabhupada has provided very practical and simple procedures to practice devotion with 4 regulated principles. Grahasta life, brahmacharya till the age of 25 years, depending on his inclination in he can be guided into suitable varnashrama. Sannyasa is by character and behavior, topmost in order of life. He is expected to completely keep himself away from women. Women are guided to follow chastity and vidya, how to behave and how to live. Example highlighted, Prabhuji, you have highlighted about a couple and their child who is participating in summer camp, and both boys and girls must be guided for brahmacharya and chastity. Men and women are attracted each other naturally. They must be suitably guided to enter in Garbhadana Samskara after marriage to produce children with good character. When the women must be suitably, when the women and men must be suitably bonded with any attachment, without any attachment, however, with perfect responsibility for family commitments and responsibilities. One must get rid of sense gratification, and women after the age of 50 years, under strict observance of discipline, he comes to understand the value of life. Naistika brahmacharis are very less in these days, and you have highlighted about Vishwamitra's tapas disturbed. I'm hearing the ankle bell of Menaka, and Krishna is falsely understood of his Rasa Leela and transcendental relationship with gopis. With our limited knowledge, it's, I must understand that it is very difficult to understand the transcendental relationship of Supreme Lord Krishna, and we must always seek the guidances of a spiritual master. That much I have understood, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the class.
Lakshmi Mataji. Idira. Okay. Dia, want to say anything? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Great vows of austerity are undertaken by sages to achieve success in self-realization. Human life is meant for such tapasya with great vow of celibacy or brahmacharya. A woman is the real binding force in material existence. The male form in humans is generally meant for self-realization. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we'll stop here. Vancha Katapatarabhyasya Krupasindhavevachan. Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Naman Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. See you tomorrow, same time. Hare Krishna.
For the class. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Invite
Krishna,
more
Prabhuji.
people.
Thanks.
Invite others.